Shalom, shalom. First and foremost, before we get started, I like to give all praises and honor and glory to Yahweh, Ba'ashem, Yahweh Shai, Ba'ashem, Rekah Kwadash, and double honors to those great millstone, while unto truth, and also to those elect that scattered abroad. I like to say, shalom. Come back here today with another great and powerful live camp. Live today through the spirit and the power of Yahweh, Ba'ashem, Yahweh Shai. And the type of the live camp today, the live lesson today is the end is near. So I like to say shalom, chol shalom. Hope to sweep you today and guide you back in the path of righteousness and back to your true power, which in fact is Yahweh, Ba'ashem, Yahweh Shai. So we're seeing a lot of things that is happening around the world as we speak. One thing behind another. These prophecies are speaking loud and clear. At the end it shall speak and not lie. So one thing about it, we knowing that a lot of things are constantly happening. We know that we has made a so-called new year, which in fact is 2025. And we seeing right now that these prophecies are constantly lining up just like clockwork, one thing behind another. So we already knowing about this China outbreak. They already saying that they closing the schools down, putting in mandates, lockdown. So we already knowing that it's always something that's going on in China. Always, it's a blueprint that's what is getting ready to come to America. So a lot of these things are happening. So it's already in the news about this pandemic. This bird flu. And also it says about now they had announced the first death of the bird flu right here. In my own backyard right here in Louisiana. So we already know that these things are constantly picking up. The men of the Lord, we constantly warn you about pestilence. We warning you about these plagues. We warning you about a great time of trouble. We warning you about the MOTB. That grain of rice. All these things are fast approaching. And one thing about it, also what the famine of the world is at the door. A lot of things are constantly happening left and right. It is here. It is at the door. So we know we're very close. Also, in South Carolina, they had a bomb threat on, I would think it was on Interstate 85. So these things are constantly picking up these, what you call these T attacks, these threats, these attacks. Also said all sorts of rumors of attacks all across the world. A lot of things are constantly picking up left and right. We already knowing about the New Orleans incident. We already know that President Biden came to visit the area where that incident occurred at. So a lot of these things are constantly picking up left and right. Also, we know that Esau Edom, the devil that the Bible speaks of, he's trying to get that advantage. That agenda, that plan, he's putting it in place right before our eye. And also, we already knowing that we constantly seeing these rumors of all these different plagues that they're constantly saying an outbreak here, an outbreak over there, and also it's even rumors of another mass mandate. So this is what an instant repeat of what 2020. So so the test run is over. All things are ready. We see already knowing that the stage is set. So these things are constantly picking up left and right, and also these rumors of these sleeper cells. All across America and major cities, causing all sorts of chaos and destruction. Death and destruction. So we already seeing that they're saying that this latest one about this guy with this in New Orleans, also this guy that was in I think it was in Las Vegas. So these things are constantly one behind another. We cannot hardly keep up. And also this winter storm is constantly going across from the west to the east. This they call it a polar vortex. Say these temperatures going to drop. They're going to be record temperature, freezing, snow, ice. A lot of things are happening. So we already know that. So we're seeing one thing behind another. So these things are constantly picking up. Is it by coincidence? But no, it's all by design of who? Yahweh, Ba'ashem, Yahweh Shai. So we know that we are very close. In the middle of we constantly warning you of all these impending dangers left and right. And a lot of people still are a lollygaggers. A lot of people still going on with their daily lives, still thinking that they're a good case of constantly relaxing in their leaves, and these things are happening left and right. So it's high time to prophesy, And one thing about it, we already knowing that these are the signs of the time. The end is near. The end is what is fastly approaching. And one thing about it, we're seeing that these plagues are not slacking down. They're on every side. And one thing about it, they're going to constantly increase to the great and glorious return of Yahweh by Hashem Yahushua. It is at the door. Our salvation is very near. We're constantly excited because we already know the changing of the God, that transition of power. We're seeing the vibration is changing. Man, the Lord is doing a mighty work, man. We're seeing it. We are very excited. So let's start here with a quick precept. Then I have a few videos, and after the video, we'll start the lesson. Let's see here. It says Isaiah chapter 42 and verse 9. It said, "Behold, the former things are come to pass, and new things do I declare before they spring forth. I tell you of them." So exactly what's happening. We constantly prophesying, of these things. These things are constantly coming to full tuition. They're coming to pass. And one thing about it, these prophecies right now are lining up. And one thing about in that day, they shall know that a prophet was among them. How are they going to know that? Because these prophecies are speaking loud and clear. These future events that we're constantly warning you about left and right. Let's read it in the NLT. It says, "Everything I prophesied has come true. And now I will prophesy again. And I will tell you the future before it happens." So one thing about it, we already knowing about what happened in Noah's time, what happened in Moses' time. And also we telling you, what's getting ready to happen in these times. These are the days of Noah, but it's going to be 10.0. It's going to be worse than 70 AD. It's going to be worse than slavery. Anything that you ever could even imagine, it's a time of trouble that you had never seen before. That's what we constantly preparing you for. We preparing you for what? For greatness. We keeping our eyes on the prize, which in fact is the kingdom of heaven that dwells in righteousness. So the men of the Lord, we constantly warning you left and right. We telling you things before they happen. Warning before what? Destruction. We constantly warning you left and right. Let's read it once again. It said Isaiah chapter 49 and verse 9 said, "Behold, the former things are come to pass, and new things do I declare before they spring forth. I tell you of them." And that new thing that is what is springing forth is what? It's the kingdom of heaven that dwells in righteousness. Immortality, rulership, spiritual power is right around the corner. The Lord is getting ready to give us what? Power over the nation. Man, we cannot wait. The same that endure, the same shall be saved. And we're seeing that the love of many is constantly waxing cold. We're seeing that spirit of vengeance is working left and right. I had did a video, I think it was yesterday, with this guy in New York, in Bronx, New York. He was in at a deli, getting ready to get him some lunch or whatever. And he got into it with this young lady. I don't know whether she looked like a tall trans, former, but one thing about it, the man was unalive. They got in an argument about a spot. Saying, "No, I was here before you." But these things gonna constantly picking up. These senseless murders, killing, shootings, all sorts of things. The love of many is constantly waxing colder and colder. You seeing right now increased violence in the land, all sorts of mayhem, all sorts of wickedness. And one thing about a lot of our people right now, they love evil, and they hate the good. We're seeing it right before our eyes. So now, let's go here to the first video. Let's go to this one right here. We're seeing that these pestilence are constantly picking up, and also they get ready to put these mandates, these different laws in place. It's coming upon us at a fast pace, an instant repeat of 2020, but it's going to be far greater. It's going to be what? Hey, they're getting ready to roll out that agenda, that plan. Let's go here with this one first.
We are now seeing the first death from the H5N1 bird flu, and this happened now in Louisiana. This is something that we need to keep an eye on because I told you about a week and a half ago that this would be spreading and that people were getting infected, and now we saw the first death. Out of the gate, I need you to understand that this is very different than the virus that is going around with the dairy cattle. That is something completely different. This one was the D1.1 of the bird flu virus, meaning it's just a different strain, and it has been circulating in wild bird and poultry. I need you to not worry because, for the most part, unless you have wild birds or chickens in your house or in your backyard, you get a very low chance of getting this. When it comes to this person in Louisiana, this person was over 65 years old and had underlying medical conditions. On top of that, she was hospitalized with the flu, and then prior to that, she had exposure to backyard flock of birds and wild birds. So let's just say that you do happen to have chickens or wild birds. They tell you to keep an eye out. So if you have any problems with breathing, maybe you've got some red eyes for at least 10 days, then you might have been exposed. And there are ways you can contract this if you don't have birds. If you see an animal that has passed, don't touch them. If you see any feces, don't touch that or wash up really, really well. Do not eat undercooked food. That refers to eggs and chicken, of course. And then lastly, if you work on a poultry farm or any other kind of farm, just play it safe. But I do want you to keep an eye on this because this is clearly going to be a problem, especially for those who do work with birds or have birds at home. So if you have any of those conditions, make sure you seek medical help. Also, wash your hands after you're handling. I mean, I feel like this is common knowledge.
So we're seeing right now. So we're seeing the first case of this so-called bird flu. You know that has came to the state of Louisiana. So we already know that they're constantly putting these things into play. You know, this what this so-called pandemic. You know, also we already know what is going to come with these mandates. It's going to come with what this time lockdowns. A lot of things are coming upon us at a fast pace. So let's get a quick precept on that. Let's go here to 2nd Ezra chapter 6, and we'll get another video. 2nd Ezra chapter 15. So like 2nd Ezra chapter 15. 2nd Ezra chapter 15 and verse 49. A quick lesson through the spirit and power of Yahweh Shem Yahushua. I think it's 49. 2nd Ezra chapter 15 and verse 49. And it reads, I will send plagues upon thee, said widowhood, poverty, famine, sword, and pestilence, to waste thy houses with destruction and death. So exactly what's getting ready to happen, you know. So when you go in that word widowhood, you know, it goes into, you know, like, you know, your loved one, husband or wife, you know, a lot of people are going to be taken into great enough poverty. You know, poverty is going to set in what? Homelessness. You know, a lot of people are not going to have a place to stay, not going to have shelter, you know, food, water, resources. These things are coming to pass left and right, you know, famine, you know what I'm saying? Which in fact, you know, a food shortage, you know what I'm saying? Starvation is going to set in a big way. So a lot of things are coming. That sword goes into what? Judgment. Also, it goes into this different weaponry they get ready to use. Technology, you know, different thing, you know, the sword and their destruction draw nearer and nearer. And also it's at pestilence, these viruses, you know, you're seeing this outbreak in China. Also right here in our own backyard, Louisiana, bird flu. What is that? The Norris virus. What's the other? Can't hardly hear, but the hemp, the HIMPV, you know, that virus. You know, we already knowing about the C19. We already know about that. So, hey, man. These things are constantly picking up. The devil's getting ready to come down with great wrath, said, to waste thy houses with destruction and death. So exactly what's coming upon us left and right. You know, Jacob's trouble is out the door. The hour of temptation, even though we'll sound like a broken record, but these are the time that we're living in. So let's read this once again. It said, 2nd Ezra chapter 15 and verse 49. It said, I will send plagues upon thee, widowhood, poverty, famine, sword, and pestilence, to waste thy houses with destruction and death. So we're very close to that time. We're constantly warning you left and right. A lot of people, they coming into this new year. They're very relaxed, talking about New Year's revolution. I'm going to do this. I'm going to do that. If you're not seeking the Lord, you're seeking death. You know, one thing about it, the Lord's not giving a damn about the wisdom of this world. Shalom to Naiquam 444. Shalom to you, brother Brakathah. So one thing about it, we know that we're very close. You know, these things are coming upon us. Another pandemic. They putting the setting the stage. We're seeing what's going on in China. It's getting ready to come to America very soon. So now let's get this one here. Let's get this video right here.
About what's happening for damn near a year now. Sarah first came on, I believe it was October of 2023 was her first interview. And nobody took it seriously. Now We have the New Orleans attack. We have Iranian missiles. We have these invisible bombs. Do you know about the invisible bombs? So now these terrorist organizations have developed invisible bombs that will get through metal detectors, any kind of screening device that's out there, and they brag about this. And now we just did a Twitter Spaces with Sarah Adams, and they are now bragging that what we know about the invisible bomb, it's now even more advanced than it was before. So that means they can get this into stadiums, they can get this into airports, they can get this pretty much anywhere they want, because you cannot detect it.
That's scary.
Yeah.
Great.
So, for the people out there, look, there's no stopping what's here. You cannot stop this.
Nope, you can't roll it back.
Not
You can't
with
put the
what we
genie back in
have
the bottle.
already in here. We have sleeper cells.
Yep.
So you see that, so let's get this other one about China. There's another one I want to get right quick about China. That's
5 years
right
after
here.
COVID-19 gripped the globe, China might be dealing with a new outbreak. Some on social media are claiming a little-known virus is overwhelming hospitals. Known as human metapneumovirus, or HMPV, it causes flu-like symptoms. There are posts alleging the virus is overtaking emergency rooms, but Chinese authorities are not confirming those claims. Official reports indicate rates of multiple flu-like illnesses are on the rise, but people are only being asked to wear face masks and wash their hands frequently. India's top health official says people should not panic over the spread of the virus, saying there was no substantial increase in infections from the virus in December, and cases have not been reported in large numbers from any other institutions. India's National Center for Disease Control says it's closely monitoring seasonal flu and respiratory cases and is in contact with international agencies. Doctors say HMPV typically spreads through droplets, spread by coughing, sneezing, or touching a surface contaminated by the virus, then touching your eyes, nose, or mouth. HPMV is most active in the winter and early spring, alongside the flu and the common cold. The virus is relatively new, first detected in 2001, and is reportedly sparking concerns it could lead to another pandemic. Earlier this week, China asserted it shared information on COVID-19 without holding anything back, after the World Health Organization insisted Beijing release more data on the pandemic's origin. China defended its data sharing on COVID-19 and argued it has made the largest contribution to global origin trace research. For more on this story, download the Straight Arrow News app.
So we're seeing right now that, they constantly bring these things. They keep, pounding every day. They're talking about this pestilence, this outbreak, bird flu. They're talking about what's going on in China. I also was saying that China schools, they're closing the schools down. Also, they get ready to bring forth a lockdown, saying all sorts of different mandates. So we already knowing that, Satan is trying to get that advantage. What is that advantage? Total control. We're not ignorant of his devices, his mindset, his agenda, his plan. What is that? The NWO. Let's go here to Isaiah chapter 10. Let's go here because we know that they get ready to bring forth this Tartarian law. We constantly warn you left and right. Let's see here, Isaiah chapter 10, and we'll start up at verse. it's verse 1. Salaki, trying to highlight it right quick. It says here, said, woe unto them that decree unrighteous decrees, that they write grievousness which they have prescribed. So that's what we constantly get ready to see. They get ready to bring forth these unrighteous decrees, these mandates, these lockdowns, all sorts of things. Also, they get ready to bring forth these FEMA camps, these 15-minute cities. These things are coming full tuition. And one thing about it, a lot of people, still are relaxing in their leads, constantly going on with their daily life. They constantly bringing it forth left and right. Also, this winter storm, and also, that fog they had a couple of days ago. And all of a sudden now people having respiratory issues, saying they're coughing, sneezing, feeling nausea. So this man right here, he's bringing it forward. Let's read it once again. Isaiah chapter 10 and verse 1 in the NLT. Let's read back in KJV first. That woe unto them. Woe means destruction, that decree unrighteous decrees go into a law. It said, and that right grievousness which they have prescribed or what authorized. So that's what's getting ready to happen. We already knowing that we're a couple, maybe 2 weeks off from Trump inauguration. So a lot of things constantly picking up for this man getting off. And also when you get a chance, look up Project 2025. So there's a lot of things that are coming down the pipeline. We already knowing that we are here. It's at the door. These prophecies are speaking loud and clear. So let's read this in the NLT. He said, what sorrows awaits the unjust judges and those who issue unfair laws. So that's exactly what's getting ready to happen. Mandates, checkpoints, There's going to be all sorts of sedition among men. A lot of things that get ready to happen. Civil unrest, civil war. These things are fast approaching. Also, we already know death and destruction is coming. Also, we know that these hokey pokies are coming back into play. So now let's go here to one moment. Let's go here to Jeremiah chapter 51. So we seen it, I think, in the second video whereby he's talking about these sleeper cells are already in place. They already saying that something about Al Qaeda. I don't want to go in too deep that they're saying that, they're setting up all sorts of what they call these psyops, different things like that across America, one behind another, so they can bring forth their agenda. So, yeah, man, it's plain and simple. No, we're not even going to say divisive. Let's go here to Jeremiah. Just a very quick lesson, just rolling in the spirit. Let's see, Jeremiah chapter 51. Jeremiah chapter 51. Let's go here. Jeremiah chapter 51. We'll start up at verse. Let's start up at verse 6. Jeremiah chapter 51 and verse 6. It said, flee out of the midst of Babylon and deliver every man his soul. It said, be not cut off in her iniquity, for this is the time of the Lord's vengeance, and he will render unto her a recompense or repay. So how do you flee out of the midst of Babylon? Spiritually, that mindset, and one thing about the Lord said, don't be conformed to this world, to this world, the renewing of the mind, you got to have a reset of the mind, wisdom and knowledge should be the stability of the time. So one thing about flee out of the midst of Babylon, and one thing about that, a lot of our people right now, they love it here, but they get ready to die here. They're seeing all of the warning signs. They're seeing that the prophecies are speaking loud. Also, they seeing that the prophets out in the highways and byways, constantly making these videos, the left and right. But one thing about it, they still are despising the words of of Yahweh, Ba'ashim, Yahushua. Let's read it once again. Jeremiah chapter 51 and verse 6 said, flee out of the midst of Babylon. Babylon what? Babylon the Great, a.k.a. America, and deliver every man his soul. Be not cut off in her iniquity, for this is the time of the Lord's vengeance, and he will render unto her a recompense. And a lot of people they are, they love it here. They relaxing in their leaves. They are, they're happy here. They feel like that. There's nothing. That this is just something just come up and it's gonna pass. Things are going back to normal, the good old days. And when you're in for a rude awakening, the Lord said that this is not your rest. This place is it's polluted. Hey, we're constantly warning. Verse 7, it said, Babylon has been a golden cup in the Lord's hand that made all the earth drunken. Said the nations have drunken of her wine, therefore the nations are mad. So one thing about it, we already know that America, has been the world superpower for a very long time, but now we're seeing that America is on the decline. But a lot of America has influenced a lot of people with their democracy, with their laws, all sorts of that do thy will spirit. So now we're seeing right now the nations are mad. They drunk up the wine. They have fornicated with the whore, which in fact is America. And one thing about the Lord is constantly bringing this place down left and right. Verse 8, it said, Babylon is suddenly falling and destroyed. Howl for her, take balm for her pain. If so be she may be healed, but she will not be healed. She is falling, but she cannot get back up. America, is so constantly circling the drain. DTA above the ball, ready for this nightmare to be over. And not about if you love it here, you're wicked. You're going to be totally destroyed. And one thing about it, that we knowing that, it is our time to rule. We're seeing that transition of power is happening right before our eyes. Jeremiah chapter 51 and verse 9 said, we would have healed Babylon, but she is not here. Forsake her. Let us go every one into his own country. Said, for her judgment reaches unto the heavens and is lifted up, say, even to the sky. So one thing about it, hey, the Lord is getting ready to judge this place, with these IBCM missiles. Also, the Lord already got the set up the ambush. We're going to get that in a minute. So we already know that things are already in place. This place is going to be invaded by Russia and China troops in collaboration with NATO, the EU. So we coming upon this time. Revelation chapter 17, these things are fastly picking up. It's high time to wake out of sleep. Verse 10, it said, the Lord has brought forth our righteousness. Come and let us declare in Zion the works of the Lord, our power. Yahweh Ba'ashem Yahushua. Verse 11 said, make bright the arrows, gather the shields. The Lord has raised up the spirit of the kings of the Medes. Said, for his device is against Babylon to destroy it, because it is the vengeance of the Lord, the vengeance of his temple. And we already knowing who the spiritual Medes are, what is Russia. So we already knowing that, America is constantly poking the bear. We're seeing that Russia is becoming a god to these nations. They constantly, bringing a new alliance together against the West and also NATO. What we know at a certain period of time that NATO is going to will return on the whore. They are going to burn the whore. So we already seen these things are constantly lining up left and right. Iran and Israel, these things are picking up. The least of the flock shall draw them out. So we read upon this time. Any given day, all hell can break loose. So let's go back here. Let's go here to verse 12. It says, set up the standard upon the walls of Babylon. It said, make the watch strong. Set up the watchmen. Prepare the ambushes. For the Lord has both devised and done that which he has spake against the inhabitants of Babylon. So that's what the Lord is doing, setting up with the ambush. That's why we seeing these different things that's happening right in New Orleans. There already rumors that they said this man was a sleeper cell. Also there were rumors that this was a psyop. Also they were saying that about this MK Ultra, mind altering. We can't go in too much. So a lot of things that they constantly bringing forth, all sorts of different scenario of order out of chaos. They constantly bringing it forth left and right, but we already know where all these things are leading to. They'll say, who is this person? Who is that person? Only way that we can find out who is who, they're going to have to take it under the skin. That bringing the rights. We're not ignorant of Satan's device. So the Lord is setting up the ambush. It said, for the Lord had both devised and done that which he spake against the inhabitants of Babylon, America. Verse 13 said, O thou that dwellest upon many waters, abundance in treasures, thy end is come, and the measure of thy covenants. So the Lord's getting ready to judge this place. In 1 hour, thy judgment come. These IBCM missiles, also that laser and chariot fire. You're already seeing all sorts of UFO sites are all across the world. And one thing about it, sits on many waters, talking about people, it's nations and multitudes of people. This place is getting ready to be totally destroyed. A lot of people have grown fat and deliciously off the whore. One thing about it, we're seeing that the tables are turning. We're seeing that the vibration is changing. We're seeing right now this nation is divided and it cannot stand it. But the Lord is constantly breaking this place down brick by brick. And a lot of people right now still thinking that, that Donald Trump is going to be the great white hope. But one thing about it, they're in for a rude awakening. And this is the point right here. It says Jeremiah chapter 51 and verse 14 said the Lord of hosts, or Lord of armies, has sworn by himself, saying, surely I will fill thee with men as with caterpillars, and they shall lift up a shout against thee. So that's what the Lord is getting ready to do. We're seeing left and right people, these events are popping up all over the place. These improvised explosive devices. Also, now you're talking about this invisible bomb, that it cannot be detected. So, we're seeing all sorts of chaos is coming. So we're going to get that in the blue letter, Jeremiah chapter 51, and we'll get that in the blue letter, bring it out with a little bit more clarity. So we're seeing right now that the Lord has devised these things. The Lord has set up the ambush. We seeing these things are constantly going to pick up one thing behind another, a domino effect. These things are constantly picking up at any given time, so we seeing that right now. It's very cold where I'm at right now. Keep telling you about the weather, telling you about, ice and storm and different things like that. A lot of people saying this might be this heart manipulating weather machine, but that about it's all through the spirit and the power of Yahweh by Hashem Yahushua. The Lord's in perfect control. I want to get this in the NLT to bring it out a little bit more. Let me get down to it, but we're seeing right now that, your faith is getting ready to be tried. You know what I'm saying? And one thing about it, a lot of people are getting ready to line up like clockwork and take that grain of rice, because all roads lead to that grain of rice, even though we'll sound like a broken record. But these are the times that we're living in. So we know right now that they were talking about this migrant crisis. All of a sudden now it's kind of like calmed down. But we already know when DJ Donald Trump come into office, he's talking about this deportation, and he's going to use the military. So we seeing how these things are constantly lining up. They're setting the stage. We seeing it right before our eye. Let's read this. Jeremiah chapter 51 and verse 14 said, the Lord of hosts has sworn by himself, saying, surely I will fill thee with men, as with caterpillars, and they shall lift up a shout against thee. So that's exactly what getting ready to happen, the invasion of America, civil war, civil unrest, sedition among men. They shall be like madmen, as they're constantly coming in, destroying this place. A time of trouble that we have never seen before. And also, great death, great mourning, the beginning of sorrow. Let's read in NLT. It says in Jeremiah chapter 51 and verse 14, said the Lord of heaven's armies has taken this vow and has sworn to it by his own name. Your cities will be filled with enemies, like fields are swarming with locusts, and they will shout in triumph over you. So that's exactly what's getting ready to happen to America. This place is getting ready to be filled with what? With the enemy, with all these different nations. We already knowing about, they already constantly warning you about these young military-aged men. If they're with this group Al-Qaeda, or what's this other group? I can't think of this other group, Hezbollah. That's another one too, what I'm thinking about. But we already know this is all by design, the takedown of America, the takeover of America, And one thing about it, he's doing it left and right, And one thing about it, the Lord already said his hands will not be able to perform his enterprise. So I like to say shalom there, want to come it, boy. Shalom to hope, grace, and mercy. 144. Shalom to you, brother Brakathah. So we know that man that we're here. I think I got another video I might want to bring out. Let me see how I pull it up. So another one. Let's talk this a little bit. This a little bit more. Just a little bit more about this China outbreak. This lady is kind of breaking it down pretty good. Letting us know the things that they're putting into place and how they are setting the stage for this these lockdowns, these mandates, these different things like that that's coming upon her. Instant repeat of 2020, but it's going to be far worse. They get ready to bring it out.
Well, China is reportedly being ravaged by some mysterious viral outbreak, and it's supposedly overwhelming hospitals all over China. There are videos now surfacing all over social media which appear to show hospitals run over by patients wearing face masks, parents holding sick children in long lines in pediatric units. There are some unverified reports that crematories and funeral homes are also being overwhelmed. Obviously, this is alarming. This is exactly how COVID started. This is exactly what we went through. And yeah, here we are again. We just all talked about this fog that went over the whole entire nation. And now here we are, not even a week later, and they are saying the hospitals are completely full.
So we seeing right now, they constantly setting the stage. The devil's getting ready to come down with great wrath. Let's get that, then we'll go to the comment board. We'll close out. Let's see here. Let's go here. It says, Revelation chapter 12 and verse 12. This is a quick lesson through the spirit and the power of Yahweh Shema Shai. Once again, I hope that you will get edified. Let's see here. Revelation chapter 12 and verse 12. It said, therefore rejoice ye heavens, and ye that dwell in them. Woe to the inhabitants of the earth and of the sea, for the devil is come down unto you having great wrath, because he knowing that he has but a short time. So that's where we at right now. This devil is getting ready to use that sword in a big way. We know that is his blessing. You know, we already know we get ready to transition into this new system that they get ready to bring into play. And also that, we know that these plagues, these viruses, I got to say it in a way whereby they won't take the video down. So a lot of these things are coming in place. So we know that the devil is getting ready to come down with great wrath, because he knowing that his time is very short, seeing that his days are determined. The Lord is constantly making him bare. The Lord is constantly exposing, constantly shedding light on all this wickedness, all this deceptions and lies. We're here. It's at the door. So now let's go here to the comment board right quick. And, after that, we'll close out. Just a very quick lesson. And one thing about it, we already know that, things are constantly heating up. That's why we got measure the time, diligently in itself, redeem the time wisely, because we're living in end time, real time. See here, let's open it up. Let's see what we got here. We're living in end time. See, start at the top here. Nightquam 444. You got it here. So Sirach chapter 40 and verse 9 through 10. He said, death and bloodshed, strife and the sword and calamity, famine and tribulation and the scourges. It says here, let's read that once again. It says, Sirach, Ecclesiastes chapter 40, 9 through 10. It said, death and bloodshed, strife and the sword, calamities, famine, tribulation, and discouragement. So that's exactly what we're seeing. We get ready to see a lot of death, a lot of bloodshed, a lot of famine, a lot of pestilence, plagues, and disease. You know what I'm saying? A lot of these things are coming upon us at a fast pace. We constantly seeing this left and right. You know what I'm saying? The beginning of sorrow. You know what I'm saying? And it says here, verse 10, it said, these things are created for the wicked, and for their sake came the flood. So we already know what happened in Noah's time. One thing about why they said that these are the days of Noah. We already know what happened there. When you go to Luke chapter 17, Matthew chapter 24, tell you how they was living. A lot of people was are not aware of the signs of the time as of right now. They're thinking that, that Donald Trump is going to come in and be a savior, bring to make America great again. One thing about it, we seeing that the end is constantly approaching. Nothing that anyone can do about it, because all by design of Yahweh, by Hashem Yahushua. The Lord's getting ready to bring this thing to a close. So we see it right here. It's going to be more death, more bloodshed, more strife and envy, more the sword. The sword also goes into judgment, calamity. That's what we constantly seeing each and every one calamity behind another, one catastrophe behind another. These things gonna constantly pick up. It said famine, famine, food shortage, rolling blackout, cyber attack, power grid outage. So we're gonna see what happened with this winter storm that's coming upon it. It could displace people. Also, they can put you in an extreme cold. And also at that particular time, they can bring forth whatever they're trying to bring forth. They can bring troops in here, some type of bio weapon. Hey, one thing about this devil, he getting ready to roll, man. We're seeing it happening right before our eyes, man. These things are constantly picking up. Tribulation, great tribulation, great sorrow, great mournings, man. The list go on and on. My tongue is getting very dry. We're going to close out in a minute. It says here, same brother, Matthew chapter 24 and verse 21. It says here, for then shall be great tribulation, such as was not since the beginning of the world to this time, nor ever shall be. Said, see, he got the other part of it, verse 22. But we know that the Lord is going to shorten the day for the elect's sake. So we already know this is going to be a time that we have never seen before. This is going to outmatch 70 AD. It's going to outmatch slavery. It's coming upon us at a fast pace. These devils get ready to roll on us. We constantly warn you left and right. All things are ready. The stage is set. We're seeing they get ready to now bring forth another pandemic. We're seeing this happening right before our eyes. And I think it was a video I seen that it said about Bill Gates said that You know, you think about 2020, but guess what? When you get to, I think it said 2025, you know, hey, we're going to get your attention. So we're seeing right now these things are constantly picking up. We already knowing that China is, you know, is just like a test run that is what is coming to America. You know, these things are constantly picking up left and right, man. These things are at the door. See here. So what else this brother got? We get one more, close out. Let's go here. It said Luke chapter 21 and verse 11 said great earthquakes shall be in diverse places, and famine and pestilence and fearful sights and great signs and sign there be from heaven. So that's exactly what we're seeing. Fearful sights, you know, and great signs for heaven. You know, the Lord is constantly bringing it. The Lord is constantly putting these things into place. These prophecies are constantly speaking. You know, these fearful sights, we seeing them every day. I think it was some type of a fire explosion. I think it was in some part of, I think it was in Louisiana. A hospital was on fire. And also we had I think it was a district attorney down there. He unalived himself. And also it was 16 police officers in New Orleans. They resigned after the incident that went down on New Year's Day. So, hey man, these things are constantly happening. Also, he's saying that there was a requesting to the mayor, if I'm not mistaken, that to get it, you know, the governor to declare the state. I think it was something about a lockdown. That's not been confirmed, but we know that a lot of these things are happening. Also in the news, the prime minister of Canada has resigned. You know, man, these things, man, we can't hardly keep up with all these different things. Let's see what else we got here about the same brother. See what else we could get here. 2 Timothy chapter 8 and verse 50 in the GNT, the Good News Translation. It said, the people of this world who have lived their lives in pride and arrogance said will suffer many things in the last days. So that's exactly what's getting ready to happen. So the Lord is getting ready to cease the arrogance of the proud. You know, a lot of people are walking with great pride. They got a lot of unbelief. We got a lot of people right now are very violent. You know, the love of many is constantly waxing cold and cold. Iniquity is constantly increasing. We seeing these things are happening left and right. Also, these prophecies are speaking loud and clear, man. We are very close. We are very excited, man. These things are constantly happening left and right before our eyes. Nahum 4:4. Let's get this last one here. It said Chronicles chapter 21 and verse 14 said, so the Lord sent pestilence upon Israel, and there fell of Israel 70,000 men. So these things are getting ready to pick up left and right. You know, a lot of people are getting ready to be unalive. We constantly warning you left and right. It's time to watch, pray, and be sober, because what this devil is just like a roaring lion. Let's go to that when we'll close out here. With the voice about dry. Just a quick lesson through the spirit. I was gonna try to do another lesson with the video, but I decided to go live with this one. You know what I'm saying? One thing about it, is it's never enough for the Lord, but we got to try to be diligent, much as we possibly can, through the spirit and the power of Yahweh, and hoping and praying that we're part of the hopeful elect, man. We try to get the hell out of this nightmare. I think it's 1 Peter chapter 5 and 7. Yeah, we'll read this and we'll close out. It says here, 1 Peter chapter 5 and verse 8 said, be sober, be vigilant, because your adversary, the devil, as a roaring lion, walketh about, seeking whom he may devour. So we're very close. I mean, what vigilant mean? What? To be watchful, the signs of the time, be circumspect, to look around your environment, people that you're dealing with. Because one thing about we knowing that this devil is getting ready to come down with great wrath. We knowing that he's getting ready to strike. But when he strike, the Lord is getting ready to strike right back. When the enemy come in like a flood, the Lord is going to lift up that standard, a way to escape. Spiritual, supernatural intervention is getting ready to come into play. Also, spiritual power is right around the corner. You know what I'm saying? The devil that the Bible speaks of, the modern day so-called white man, not white, red. Let's read in the NLT. It said, stay alert, watch out for your great enemy, the devil. He prowls around like a roaring lion, looking for someone to devour. So one thing about it is exactly what he's getting ready to try to do, to try to perform his enterprise. He's getting ready to pounce. He's what the devil's getting ready to fill his belly, his agenda, his plan. You know what I'm saying? His evil scheme, total control. We coming upon this time. So he's putting all these different scenario, order out of chaos into play. This new beginning pandemic that he's putting into play. We already know these things gonna bring forth mandates, all different type of laws, all different type of lockdowns. Things are coming into play. Also, it's gonna bringing forth these FEMA camps. These guillotine. These things are coming upon us at a fast pace. And that day they shall know that a prophet was among them. We are very close to this red devil. It's getting ready to roll on us. We constantly warn you, left and right. The prophecy are constantly warning you about these evil times. Warning you about pestilence. Warning you about war, World War III. Warning you about a time of trouble that we've never seen before. Even though that will sound like a broken record. But these are the times that we're living in. The devil's getting ready to pounce. And one thing about when the devil pounces, the Lord is going to pounce right back. We're living in some very exciting time, man. We're here. It is at the door. We're seeing that the end is near. It's right before our eyes. And one thing about it, if your ass cannot see because the Lord has blinded you, the Lord's put them blockers upon you because you are wicked and you will be totally destroyed. The middle Lord will constantly warning you, left and right. Judgment is fast approaching. Judgment has already started, but it's going to be on a major scale, And one thing about it, we've seen all these senseless death all across the world, left and right. Things are picking up, man. We are here. Let's read this one more time. We'll close out. Let's read it once again. 1 Peter, Salaki, and verse 5 said, and verse 8, Salaki, once again. 1 Peter chapter 5 and verse 8, that's just the spirit that slow it down. It said, be sober, be vigilant, or watchful, because your adversary, the devil, as a roaring lion, walketh about seeking whom he may devour. So that's exactly what he's doing, left and right. He's getting ready to try to bring it forth. We already knowing that, that we're in this transition of power. We're seeing that a great awakening is happening. We're seeing that the Lord is setting things right back in order right before our enemies' eye, and also these 2/3. So we're seeing right now that the Lord's word is faithful and true. All we must do is constantly what? Trust and believe in Yahweh by Hashem Yahushua, and the Lord is what? He's going to do the rest. So the title of the day's live lesson is The End is Near. So I like to give all praises and honor and glory to Yahweh by Hashem Yahushua by Hashem Rekab Kwadash. I like to say, Shalom, Shalom.